Good morning. My name is Patrick. I am a man who recognizes that he is so. I have had 2 dreams recently that are asking to be shared with the rest of the world. Before I share these dreams with you, I must introduce myself. At 5 years old, I saved my little sister's life. She was learning how to walk. She grabbed hold of the cord of a hot iron. She pulled it down as she was trying to stand. Without thought, just reaction, I caught the iron in my bare hands. I held the iron until my mother came to retrieve it from my hands. All I could do was cry. I was in fear that if I dropped the iron, it would cause a fire. So I held it there. To this day, I have suffered no scars. You can say what you want, but something protected me that day, as I protected somebody else. The message I'm going to convey is not easy. I've never been on camera before. I've never stood in front of a bunch of people to share my thoughts. I looked up my name a while back because I was curious as to what my name meant. I found that in ancient Sanskrit, my name means King of the Peaceful Valley. I do not judge others for whatever acts they may do. I pay attention to all of my surroundings. You can say that I'm an aware person. I have love in my heart. My friends know this. My friends tell me that I emit light. I have a shine, a glow about me. My friends trust me. They know that I am always there to give guidance for them when they need it. Before I describe my first dream, I would like to tell you the circumstances beforehand. I was on the phone with my little sister the other day, and we were talking about God, the creator in heaven, the divine creator. I refer to him as the Father in heaven. We were discussing being aware of what the Father in heaven has to show us. I got off the phone with my sister and I prayed. I prayed for enlightenment, for vision, and for truth. Not even a minute later, I was overcome by a very strong headache. So powerful, I had to lay down. And when I laid down, I fell asleep. And I began dreaming. I dreamt that I was in an extended family member's home. The extended family member was my wife's niece. As I was in the house, I was searching for something. What it was, I don't know. A few minutes later, my wife's niece came to me and asked if I would like to meet one of her friends. I agreed. And we went to her friend's house. And as we were sitting in his backyard, I looked to the sky. And in the haze of clouds, I saw what appeared to be the moon at first. and I asked, "Does anybody else see how beautiful that is?" I was replied with, "What the heck is that?" I looked up again at what I thought was the moon and focused deeper into it. The light was bright. It was brighter than it was previous to me looking at it. As I'm focusing in on this light, I realized that no, it was not the moon. Instead, it was quite the opposite. It was a portal, a doorway, if you will, with a bright light coming from the other side. As I focused deeper into this portal, I saw that there was a city of light on the other side. I was in amazement at what I was seeing. Through the portal, waves of energy were emitting. The best way I could describe it is a similarity between the movie Stargate, when they opened the portal and the wave of energy came through, except that there was more than one wave of energy. The gentleman's house that I was at asked me, "What do you do?" And I replied to him, "I'm a carpenter. I like to fix things." He then said to me, No, what do you do?" And I replied back to him, "I like to help people. I like to guide people. Hopefully someday awaken people." He looked at me and said, "That is very good." Seconds later in the dream, my best friend's voice told me that it was okay to awaken now. Dream interpretations can come in many ways, different forms. I like to think positively. And in this interpretation of my first dream, I see an awakening happening across the world, telling us that it's okay to talk about it, it's okay to live it, and it's okay to be it. Because the time is near that we need to share our love for one another with each other. We need to spread this good energy about. Sorry if this is a little shaky. I'm walking around. I'm a bit nervous. It's my first video I've ever made. I would like to move on to my second dream. In this dream, I was walking down a street in my neighborhood, looking for a way to repair my vehicle. As I walked down the street, I realized that every vehicle on the street had the exact same damage that my vehicle had. And as I walked down the street, I came across the man that was patching the vehicles. And we got into a conversation. The conversation was about details and how it all matters. I left the conversation and headed back home on the path that I had previously walked. I looked down at my feet and I realized that they were bare. But not only were they bare, they were bronze in color. I turned around and went back to look for my sandals. And when I found them, I picked them up. And as I picked them up, they turned into olive branches with ants crawling on them. I decided that I couldn't wear those. So I placed them gently back to the ground and continued my path back home. On my path back home, I found myself in a stranger's yard. The strangers were very welcoming to me. They wanted me to stay. There was even a beautiful woman dancing, trying to convince me to stay. I graciously thanked them for their hospitality, and I continued on my journey. As I was traveling, I found myself in a downtown area filled with shops and people, strangers, people I didn't know. A child's toy rolled across my path. I picked it up. And when I looked up, there was a child crying. I returned his toy to him, and he started to smile, and he thanked me. As I looked around, I was still surrounded by strangers, but there was something in my throat, something I had to cough up. I tried to cough it out, but I realized that it was too large for me to cough out. So I had to grab whatever it was with my fingertips and wrap it around my hand and pull it. When I finally got it out, the child looked at me again and smiled and said to me that everything was going to be okay. And then I was told that it was okay to wake up by a familiar voice. This dream has a strong meaning to it. I pay attention to my dreams and their details. Why, you might ask? Well, I know that in my lifetime, dreams have led me to great places and have kept me from bad places. My dreams have protected me. I feel that I am being guided by a higher being. Something has been protecting me for a lot of my life. I've been returned to this world 3 times. So that shows me right there that it's not my time to go. Because, well, I'm needed here on this plane. The second dream I had, there's a lot of interpretations that can be seen. The walking with bare feet means that I have a hard path ahead of me. The bronze, I take it as I'm being protected along this path. The olive branches, they can represent many things: peace, prosperity, immortality. And the ants, hardworking. The fact that I place them onto the ground or return them to the earth, I feel that there's a lot of hard work and a lot of people are working hard to make this planet a great place again. But it's going to take all of us to do it. Like teamwork. I have a hard time interpreting a lot of what I've been seeing. This is not an easy task. This is not an easy message for me to convey. I've held on to it for a while, but it's being demanded that I share it with you. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of confusion on the planet right now. We need to stick together as light bearers. We need to try our best to awaken those around us. We are going to be the guiding lights to those that need us the most. A lot of people are trying to waken people around them, and it seems that they're having a hard time with it. Don't let it bring you down. They're not going to understand right away. You're just going to have to be there when they need you the most. I hope and pray this message comes through to a lot of you. I pray that people are able to open their eyes as to what's going on in the world today. There are a lot of different forces at work. There are dark forces trying their hardest to keep us quiet, to keep us down. All we can do is keep on moving on, keep on sharing the message. Pray for those that don't see the light. The Father in heaven is guiding us. There is a plan, and we are here to execute that plan. I hope that this message touches the right people, and I hope that they get the right message from what I have been sharing with you. I will do my best to stay vigilant and watchful for the messages that are shared with me, and I will do my best to share them with you. In the Holy Father's name, I pray that you are all protected. Thank you for listening to me.